Thank you, Jennifer. And new at 5, what to do with Detroit schools? What about that unfinished jail project?
Well, these are questions that don't just affect Wayne County. They have an impact on Metro Detroit as a whole. So today, the so-called Big Four, Detroit's mayor and the 3 county executives share the stage, but not necessarily the same views over big money issues. Tonight, 7 investigator Jim Kirchner is working to get some answers for us.
The first big issue, Detroit schools. The governor, who is not here, has a plan coming out next week that could include a state bailout.
When the state of Michigan stepped in 5 years ago and said, Detroit, you can't run your own school system, we're appointing an emergency manager, we're going to take it over. Since they've run up almost $500 million in debt.
A coalition that worked over the winter first recommended a state bailout for Detroit schools, along with other reforms. South of 8 Mile, a good idea.
The state assumed this risk. The state took it over, ran up the debt. Who else is supposed to pay it off?
But out in the suburbs north of Detroit, Oakland, and Macomb counties, the message is not so much.
Are you willing to give up $50 per student so that we can take care of that debt the city of Detroit incurred, however it occurred? And the answer is going to be no.
Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, who came into office just this year, has his own huge financial deficit. He says $72 million. And on top of that, that unfinished jail project.
I will say this, we've got $130 million in the ground, which is to me ridiculous. And the best offer to sell it has been $20 million.
County executive says he's talked with state officials to avoid a takeover and avoid bankruptcy, but they want his problem fixed.
I think they're going to give me just enough rope to either pull myself to shore or hang myself, and I think we'll pull myself to shore.
They also took some big shots at so-called auto insurance reform going on up in Lansing. The mayor says he has a plan just to help Detroiters lower their rates, among the highest in the country. That's all coming up next hour at 6. In downtown, Jim Kirchner, 7 Action News.